guys, and welcome back to another episode of Federico Talks Watches. Now today, I wanted to discuss something that may help you guys out when it comes time to buying a used timepiece. Now before we get started, today I am wearing the Hulk, and also wanted to point you guys in the direction of my website, delraywatch.com. I just got in a really cool and super tough watch. I think I'm going to make a video about it. It's the Lynn Verdelin Hard Black 3. What can I say, man? The blue lume, ADLC case, limited to 99 pieces. It is a really awesome sports watch with a ton of style. And it's because I've become a watch dealer, as you guys have realized. It's become my full-time career. I have my own business, buying, selling, trading, and servicing watches. And I've come to answer a lot of questions from you guys and from customers. And I've realized that there's a few questions I get asked that there are much better alternatives for. Now, asking questions is key to, you purchasing a watch. You should get all the information you can to make an informed decision. But sometimes the questions are misphrased or misworded. So today I'm going to talk about 3 or 4 questions you should never ask the watch dealer because you're not going to get the information you want. And I'm going to give you alternatives to those questions. So instead of asking what I say in the beginning, you should ask the follow-up question. And let's get started and see what these questions are. I'm going to read them right off my computer. A very common question I get is, hey, Federico, or actually a very common question not only I get, but many watch dealers get. This isn't just for me, this is when buying a watch with any pre-owned dealer. And that is, how many previous owners has the watch had? Now, I understand this question. You want to get a little bit of a history of the watch. But truth is, it's a pretty poor question for many reasons. The first one being, even small dealers like myself who sell dozens of watches a month and big dealers who sell hundreds of watches a month, the truth is they have no idea, how many previous owners or who owned the watch before them, and then was it in a smoking environment, and, how was it treated. The truth is, a lot of dealers, they don't have time for that. They simply don't ask. They just get the watch, they know who owned it previously, and they now know that they own it now and it's for sale. Now, I can tell by asking that question, the buyer wants to get a little information on the piece. Now, there is a much better question that you can ask, and that is, instead of saying how many owners has it had, which really is irrelevant, because it really doesn't matter how many owners a watch has had, you should ask, has the watch ever been serviced? Because the truth is, if it's been serviced, then it should be in perfectly running order. Any abuse it may have gone through should have been remedied, and, a fully serviced watch should be just that, fully serviced, fully functional. So as you can see, even though a watch may have been owned by 97 owners, including Saddam Hussein himself, as long as the watch has been serviced and has been taken care of, that's all that matters. So instead of asking how many owners the watch had, you guys should ask how recently or has the watch been serviced. That gets you much more valuable information, and at the same time it gives you more relevant information as well. Now, another pretty common question, and this makes a lot of sense, but it's just unfortunate, is, has the watch ever been polished? Now, this question can still be asked for a new watch, 2-3 years old. Has this watch ever been polished? That's relevant. But for a watch that's 15-20 years old, I ask all the time, hey, Federico, has this watch ever been polished? And even if I've never polished the watch, I will always say, well, sir, the watch is 15 years old. It's definitely most likely been polished. And, the real question you should ask, because if a watch has been polished or not, once again, is kind of irrelevant, because the real question is, has the watch been over-polished? Because a watch can be polished once or twice, maybe even 3 times, and the edges can still be super crisp, just, like no one could ever tell that the watch has been refinished. And if that's the case, then it doesn't matter if it's been polished or not. It matters, has it been polished well? And asking the question, has a watch been polished, when a watch is 15, 20 years old, I mean, you guys don't know that, but, a lot of dealers find it a little laughable because, yes, of course it's been polished. It's a 15-year-old watch. So instead of asking that, you should ask, has the watch been over-polished? Are the edges still crisp? Does the case still hold its original shape? Those are much more relevant questions, and it'll get you the information you need to decide if the watch is in a condition that you actually want to buy. The third price is negotiation. And I've mentioned this before when I used to work at an AD, but never negotiate unless it's actually time to buy. And this happens to me all the time. It happens to every dealer all the time. We get asked, what's your best price? And I answer, my best price is the highest, because that's the truth. I think when it's time for you to buy a watch and you actually want to make an offer and you think, this watch is really close to my budget, but you can't really swing it, you should say, hey, Mr. Dealer, I want to buy your $2,000 watch today. Will you take $1,800? Now, if that's the case and the dealer accepts the offer, that is a job well done. But asking someone to negotiate against themselves is usually a no-go, and most dealers don't really take kindly to that question, especially the ones that aren't customer service oriented. Now, me, I've been in sales my whole life. I'm all about the customer service, so it doesn't annoy me, but I always respond with, my best price is the highest. I mean, what would it take for you to buy it today? So that's how I would reply. And another thing is, if you guys are going to make an offer and they say, hey, Mr. Dealer, will you take $1,800 for this watch? And the dealer says yes. And then you say, I'll think about it. That deal's dead. It's dead forever. I mean, why make an offer if you're not going to go through with it once it's accepted? You know what I mean? That's just bad etiquette. Now, yes, the customer is always right, but there are ways to get a smoother transaction. So if you're going to make an offer, you should follow through with it. Because trust me, dealers talk between each other all the time. We all know who the difficult clients are. And I'm just trying to give you guys a little bit of advice to get the best deal, the information you need, and, at the same time, build a relationship with dealers moving forward. And then my favorite question is, hey, Mr. Dealer, is the watch authentic? Now, unfortunately, I don't have an alternative to this question because, honestly, if you have to ask if a watch is authentic, you shouldn't be talking to the dealer anyway. I mean, you know what they say, it's always by the seller. So you find a watch from a dealer you like, you should go and do some research. Go read reviews on Tourneau's pre-owned section or on Delray Watch Supply. See what customers are saying. Have they had good experiences? Because what do you expect a dealer to say? Hey, Mr. Dealer, is the watch authentic? No, Mr. Customer, unfortunately, it's totally fake. But please, give me your $5,000. I mean, what answer do you expect from that question? You could ask, is it all original? Have there been any service parts? And that's a valid question. But if you're really uncomfortable enough to have to ask if it's authentic, I don't think you're ready to buy a pre-owned watch. You should do research on the seller. You should be 100% confident in who you're buying from, that they're going to treat you with respect, that they're going to stand up to the sale afterwards if there should be a problem, to where the question of asking, is it authentic or not, shouldn't even cross your mind. Anyway, guys, these are just questions I get asked every day, amongst many others, and I'm happy to answer them, and I'm happy to facilitate deals. I've been in sales 10 years. I'm all about customer service. But at the same time, I noticed the inefficiencies. So I figured I'd make a little video with some anecdotal evidence to help you guys, maybe ask better questions and get better quality information when it comes time to buying a pre-owned watch. And actually, guys, I've been going through a lot of different little experiences as I grow my business, and it's something I may want to share with you guys. Maybe some vlog-style videos, some more watch dealer stories. Let me know if you guys enjoyed this video in the comment section below, and if I should keep making them. And if you did, please leave a thumbs up. It really does help. And don't forget to subscribe. Of course, my website, Delray Watch Supply, delraywatch.com, link in the description below if you want to check it out. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for sticking around for another episode of Federico Talks Watches, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.